A squad room scuffle caught on camera among members of the local Veterans Administration Police Department. The officers are on duty, in uniform and armed.
The I-Team tonight uncovers the incident as part of an internal VA investigation into the behavior of VA police. The investigation, detailed in a report obtained by KETV News Watch 7, finds evidence of what it calls unfair and unethical behavior within the local Veterans Administration Police Department.
The head of the area VA commissioned the probe herself. KETV News Watch 7 I-Team investigator David Earl tonight on the allegations of unprofessional conduct and favoritism among the Omaha VA police.
You're in the squad room of Omaha's VA Police Department, and if you ask some of those who work for the police, they'll tell you this brawl is part of a bigger problem.
I'd be worried if I had to deal with the VA police because they seem like they're out of control.
The Nebraska and Western Iowa VA has its own police force, run by medical center administrators. The force secures property and investigates crime that takes place here. But in this case, it's the VA police under investigation. At the request of VA Medical Center Director Marcy Milan, an administrative investigation board looked into a host of allegations. In this 14-page report obtained by the I-Team, the administrative board said it found insufficient evidence of racial or gender discrimination among the local VA police, but the board said there is evidence of favoritism leading to unfair and unethical treatment of officers. For instance, the squad room scuffle in January. When questioned, one member of the VA police described it as, quote, just cops horseplaying. You do stupid things when you're boys.
That's the language of a frat house. I mean, it's just not the language and thinking of a professional law enforcement agency.
UNO professor Sam Walker studies police policy. We asked him to review the report and the video. He says the public's lack of awareness that the department even exists adds to the problems.
Because this is sort of off stage and in the shadows somewhere, you haven't had that kind of awareness. You haven't had the same kind of pressure to improve.
The VA memo says the officers involved in this fight received counseling letters, even though the VA handbook recommends punishment ranging from reprimand to removal.
Should they have lost their jobs?
I believe so, yes.
The I-Team spoke with current federal officers, one a national trainer, the other with the VA police in Omaha. Both of them told us they've witnessed inappropriate behavior among the Omaha VA police.
There's unprofessionalism everywhere.
The report also calls to task promotion policies in the VA Police Department, finding a pattern of inappropriate behavior and favoritism. The investigative board says there is evidence that favoritism played a role in how the officers in the brawl were disciplined. And in another case, where the process of selecting a detective did not choose the most qualified candidate, the board called the process unfair and unethical. This officer just wants
ownership on behalf of the current command staff, current director, executive staff.
Omaha's VA hospital sent us a statement saying it addressed the problems, ordering, quote, administrative action and remedial education. As part of the solution, the VA went on to say, quote, we also brought in an acting police chief from another VA for temporary leadership. The I-Team has learned that acting police chief was previously a captain with the VA police in Omaha until 2011. In Sam Walker's opinion, that's not the right solution.
You don't bring in one of your own former employees to try to right the ship.
The VA stands by its statements. Officials there refuse to go on camera to answer any questions about that internal memo or any other problems inside the VA's Omaha Police Department. For the I-Team, David Earl, KETV News Watch 7.
In advance of this report, local VA Director Marcy Milan sent a memo Friday afternoon to all Omaha and Western Iowa Veterans Administration employees.
In her message, Milan stresses the VA police are highly trained professionals and that the VA takes allegations or instances of inappropriate conduct among employees very seriously.
Milan says all VA leaders are expected to take action when inappropriate behavior occurs. And she notes the vast majority of local VA employees are working diligently to do an exceptional job for veterans.